So, I need to touch grass.
That's better.
So, it is fall again, and everybody knows the best part of fall is when all the leaves die and fall off the trees and look really beautiful and colorful. And thankfully, I live in a place where that happens. So, I thought it might be a fun idea to go outside, touch some grass, and get set up and paint some beautiful fall foliage. So that is what I am going to do. Not today, tomorrow, because the sun's setting right now. Tomorrow! That is what I'm going to do tomorrow. So yeah, and I'm gonna take you along with me. I'm gonna take you along with me. Whoop, boop.
So here's the park that I headed out to, and I'm all ready to get set up. But before I do that, let me show you what I took with me. First of all, my easel. I got this easel for like $30 at blick.com a few years ago. My super basic tripod that I got from Amazon a while back. It's not the greatest, but you know what? It does the job. My trusty little sketchbook that I got from Barnes & Noble. I can paint and draw in it. I have painted it and drawn in it. Got some nice blank pages there. Also some watercolor paper. I'm not sure whether I'm going to paint on watercolor paper or in my sketchbook, so Arteza gouache. There it is. Also this brand of gouache. I don't know what brand it is. This other brand of gouache that I also have. My trusty palette. This is my cat. I'm not bringing him. He just wanted to be part of the video. His eyes look like that because he's blind, and his name is Wolverine. My spray bottle. I don't remember where I got this, but you know, keeps the paints moist. My water holder tray thingy. Some paintbrushes. I got them from various different places. My Prismacolor colored pencils. These cool watercolor crayons I got a while back. And then other just random pens and pencils and stuff. And my water bottle, of course, very important. A blanket so I can sit on it and not the bare ground. My lovely Bluetooth headphones so I can listen to music while I paint. Some snacks as well so I don't starve. Oh, and also my phone, which I'm filming everything on, hence I'm not going to be showing you it. I left links to buy some of these things in the description, but like, you don't need any of these specific supplies to do some plein air painting, to just go paint outside, you know. These are just the supplies that I'm using, and they're not even the best supplies, they're just like what I have. I spent quite a bit of time scouting and looking for a good place to paint, a good thing to paint, and then I saw this tree. This tree caught my eye, and I was like, I have to paint that tree. She is gorgeous. She is a star. Oh my god, look at that shade of orange. I don't know if it comes across in the video, but then I saw these pretty little deer. Oh my god.
Cute. Oh, what good babies. What babies.
And I got all set up. Yeah. And that is my view. So then I just got started basically sketching out the trees in front of me, and then I got my sketch all done and I realized I forgot something very important. Forgot my paintbrushes, like an idiot. And in the meantime, I got started with some watercolor crayons, and I did call someone and I texted a family member to see if they could bring me my brushes while I was at the park, all set up to paint with no paintbrushes. So in the meantime, this is what I was doing, and then I noticed a beautiful baby. Hi, you're so beautiful. I love you. I love you so much. And then I got my brushes. A family member was able to bring them to me, so, you know, I could have just lied to you and said that I remembered them, but you know, this is the reality of being an artist with ADHD. So then I started. I started out just laying out those colors, laying out the placement of the trees, and just to be honest, it's not perfect in terms of like how it looks in real life. I did some liberties with that. I kind of squished it into my painting. I'm not the type of artist who tries to make things be hyper realistic, but yeah, I laid out all my colors and then I went back in, you know, just kind of making the colors darker and deeper and layering and making them thicker. And then the sun was starting to set, so I kind of had to go home. And also the light looks so different as the sun is, you know, not there. But this is what I got done on the first day. And I think it looks pretty good. I mean, you gotta trust the process, but... yeah, I gotta clean up. Look at that. Oh my god, it's so late. This is the work in progress. Gotta trust the process. It is so messy. So not good looking, but you know, it's a start. It's a start. It is a start. That's that versus what I'm looking at. And then I came across a tiny library, which is so exciting, seeing one of these in person. Shout out to this YouTube channel, Reading with Mimi. And then I went home and I touched it up. I did a lot of, I just thickened up a lot of the painting, a lot of the sky, made that a darker, thicker blue. And also this part where the path is, I used blue watercolor pencil to get started with it, but I was trying to make it look more of a neutral color. And yeah, and then at the end of the night, that's what it looked like. And I then headed back to the park a few days later. There's our big tree, our big pretty tree. This time I did not forget my brushes like an idiot. And so I just jumped right in. I was making those colors thicker, really laying on those deep dark shadows, trying to like make those shadows deeper and darker before I, you know, made the highlights thicker and darker. And yeah. And this is what it looked like after I really had darkened those shadows and I was getting ready then to go back in with the highlights. And as you might have noticed there, where you saw somebody kind of like leaning over talking to me, this is like the point where people started to like actually stop and talk to me and be like, oh my god, that's a beautiful painting. And that was really fun. That was really exciting. It got me, you know, it's really motivating actually when you have people walking up to you saying nice things about your art. It was definitely one of the highlights of going outside and painting. So yeah, as you can see, I'm adding some highlights. I'm also just adding some like stronger, more saturated colors, more thicker colors, and I'm starting to go in with some details like here with the tree branches, you know, really showing those details there. Yeah. And of course the sun was starting to set once again. It was starting to get, you can tell the light's changing a little bit, but and then I saw another baby doing something. And she's beautiful. I don't know, she's gorgeous. And this deer was very brave. She was walking, she was coming to say hi. Except, I mean, this is with no zoom. That's with 0 zoom. Beautiful. Just beautiful baby. And she said goodbye. Look at the little tail. Little floof tail. And then I forgot what I was doing. I was so distracted by a deer, I had to jump back in. I forgot where I was with the painting, and yeah. So then as you can see, I'm adding some yellow to make it really pop, to really make that horizon line pop. And yeah, and I'm really going deeper with the green in the background to add more depth and contrast. And right before I left, that's what the painting looked like, right before I left on the second day. And of course I came back home and did more finishing touches, and I thought that might have been the last day I was going to be at the park, but after doing these finishing touches, I still felt like there was more to be desired. But I was really looking at the reference photo I had taken from when I was out there and really noticing what I didn't notice before. And I really noticed that there were a lot of, there were a lot of places where the sky peeked out. between the leaves, between the branches, and once I added that in, I noticed it kind of got a lot more elevated, this painting, and yeah, there's a lot more of a sense of, I feel like, realism when I added that. And of course I added a lot more details on the grass and the leaves and whatever, and then I came back for day number 3. Here we are, the old spot. And something that was really exciting is I had just gotten this bright pink paint, which I was excited to use, especially for those orangey shades, and especially for that one tree that's really red, to really highlight that brightness. It's like one of my favorite colors of gouache to use. So I'm gonna make it so bright. It's gonna be so bright and saturated, this painting. Hell yeah. I'm just like really going in and really refining those details, especially on the ground, because I hadn't really done much with that at that point yet. And then I met this amazing dog. Oh my god, this is also a highlight of painting in the park, is I met so many dogs, actually. I met that dog, I met some huskies. One was named like Light, and I think the other one was named Zeus. I met a boxer named Lila. But anyway, this was my last day of working on this painting in the park. I was really going in and adding more details and really refining the way it looks and really adding those details, adding that, you know, that thicker gouache paint and adding those highlights, making it very bright and saturated. And then this is what it looked like when I left. But before I left, before I even cleaned up my little spot here, which was such a mess, as always, I went and I had to walk up to each tree that was part of my composition, that was part of my painting, and really get a good look at it up close. And really almost like, I don't know, thank the tree for being my muse. And I noticed this one was dedicated to Herbert C. Illiam Jr., and I really couldn't find out much about him besides the fact that he lived to be 78 and died in 2009. But yeah, Herbert, shout out to you. And also, I looked at this bench to see who that was dedicated to. It's dedicated to Valerie Bowles Ernst. And it seems that this dedication is quite new, because I did some research and she passed away back in 2022. So she lived until her late 70s. So shout out to you, Valerie. This is a really beautiful message here. And here's another look at the other tree. I love this tree so much. It's so pretty. The shade, I don't know if this video is really giving it justice. And then there's this beautiful star, this beautiful red tree over here. This tree, oh my god, she's a star. I love her. And then I walked back. I walked back to my car and drove on home. And I got myself a cup of tea because it was getting chilly and I needed to warm up. This mug was perfect to have by my side while I'm finishing this painting. And yeah, I was mostly like refining the sky, adding some lighter shades of blue and shades of white, and also a little bit of pink in between the branches to kind of give a sense of almost a sunset. And I also just upped the contrast a lot and added a lot of detail and highlight and contrast. So I finished it that night, and now I'm going to reveal to you how it came out. Hi, so it's been a while and I've been forgetting to update you guys. I've been forgetting to film the end of this video and film a little update on how the finished piece came out. So, little drum roll. This is what it looks like. Here's how it came out. I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks much better than the last time I went out to the park and painted the trees. I think it came out pretty good. I mean, of course, I did have to come home and I did a lot of painting back in my room inside after. But I think it came out pretty good. And here's the thing. Was plein air painting, was it a lot of work? Yes. Was it annoying at times?
Absolutely. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of work to get everything together, to get out there, to get set up, and then it's also really hard because you can only really stay out there for like a few hours at the most. I mean, you're gonna have to go to the bathroom, you're gonna have to get something to eat, besides like a little granola bar. You know, there's only so long you can stay outside. Despite all that work, I think it was worth it. I think it was fun. I think it was a great time. And you know why? Because I spend so much time painting in this room. I spent so much time in my room alone painting, and I don't always get the experience of having other people see my work face to face. And it's really exciting. When I was in the park for those few days, there were a lot of people that came by and stopped what they were doing just to tell me how much they loved my art. And that's a really great feeling, especially nowadays in this age of, you know, AI art taking over the internet. It's such a great feeling to feel like people really actually appreciate like real life physical art. So I think it's a really valuable experience, just getting outside, touching that grass, and really seeing the things you're painting firsthand instead of just looking at a photo. And I loved it, actually. I'm probably not gonna do it for a while because now it is starting to get cooler and the sun's setting earlier, which I hate. But next spring, catch me out there in the park. Would I recommend plein air painting to a friend? I would. I think it's a great way to get out and, you know, get out of your room, get out of your routine, get out of your routine of sitting in your room and painting, and yeah, open yourself up to the world and make connections with people. But anyway, so yeah, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed watching my crazy process of plein air painting. I hope you maybe learned something, maybe you go out and try it yourself. But yeah, if you liked this video, I'd love if you subscribed. I'm gonna do more fun art things. I also make music, and yeah, so yeah, I'd love if you subscribed. Oh, and by the way, also follow my Instagram. I post art on there sometimes. So thanks. Love you. Bye.